And one fancy transition later, we have gone from SpongeBob to everyone's favorite Italian plumber. I'm Electric, and here with me is Padronis, ready to commentate this 16-star match between the one, the only, Counter Logic Gaming's Cheese and Weegee. Pedro, how much are you looking forward to this race? Because I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to it.
You know, some people, Electric, they look forward to Friday nights so they can go out and party and do stuff like that, you know, all the cool kids. But me, I'm looking forward to some Mario action, okay? I wouldn't miss this for, I don't know, whatever else it would be, but you know what? Cheese versus Weegee, this is going to be really explosive, and I cannot wait to see how this one goes down, because I have no idea who's going to win.
Neither do I. I mean, both these guys just absolute legends in their own right. Weegee just absolutely killing it in 16-star for a while now. A former world record holder. I don't believe he is currently, but Cheese, the man needs no introduction. Just absolute legend in the longer categories, and absolutely not one to be messed around with in something like 16-star either. So we've got to have a good race on our hands. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, Weegee definitely has the advantage for the ceiling that he's hit in this category, which is really a remarkable time for when he got it. It was almost a year ago, but not quite a year ago, but like at least like 8 months or so now, and the category's progressed so much since then. Like 15-17 is just bonkers, and he was even trying to go for like a lower time than that when Aki got the 1508. So he's definitely got the talent, you know, but Cheese is also got just the all-around gameplay that can win you a whole lot of races, and he's got the consistency from doing the longer categories. Whereas Weegee, he's kind of in a sunshine rush right now, trying to get that world record. So I think Cheese has been a bit more active in the game, but Weegee has been practicing today, so I think he'll come ready to play.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping so, especially after that forfeit against Paracuccio. I'm thinking that definitely must have kind of shown him that, hey, you know, I need to spend a little bit less time in Isle Delphine. I need to go back to the good old castle and really practice my strats and get everything back and on the ground running. So yeah, I definitely think we're going to see a much, much better race than that one. And I mean, no matter what, I really think these guys are just going to bring their A game and give us a really, really great showing.
Yeah, well, I think Weegee is just gonna pull ahead out of Dark World and Wombs, but then Cheese is gonna kind of make it back through the rest of the stars as long as Weegee doesn't like miss something like Alice or Canalus. And then Cheese is gonna be kind of neck and neck, you know, Mips clip, who knows? You could see a lead change there. And then I think we'll see at least 2 of the races come down to BLJs and Bowser in the Sky, so I don't think this is going to be a blowout at all. Like, obviously it wouldn't be a blowout, but I think we're actually going to see some really close ones.
Right. I definitely think that all 3 of these races are, unless we see some major mistakes, I think they're all going to come out within a minute of each other.
Yeah, like I could see like one where someone just like can't get LBLJ, or like they have like a death in Fire Sea or something like that, where it like looks hot and they're close, and then it just like, it's kind of ruined. But I think we're gonna get like at least 2 really hot ones, and I think we're gonna see a split set here. I don't think anyone's gonna be able to take a 3-0.
Right, I definitely think we're going to be seeing a 2-1, and both these guys running identical versions of the game, so not going to have to deal with the in some races kind of seeing someone pull ahead right at the beginning just because of using the English card or Japanese card, for instance.
And we're going to see them start off with the LBLJ and Dark World, which we've seen a lot of big runners who are really experienced with it still mess it up, like do whatever, couldn't get it for like 5 minutes or something like that. So hopefully they're feeling sharp and they'll get it first try here. Weegee going for a faster Lakitu skip than Cheese here, and you see him touch the door first, but only just.
Right,
but
both of them getting a
a
real nice Lakitu skip, and you know, definitely kind of holding my breath to see Cheese with this LBLJ, because he's been pretty consistent at it, but he's made it very clear that it's probably one of his least favorite tricks in the game.
Oh no, Weegee's stuck in the upstairs door. He's gonna fall out. He's got to redo it, but Cheese has gotten in there, you know, a bit more consistency minded. I told you earlier as the intro was coming, Weegee is a nutty LBLJer, but he was going too fast. Look at how fast he spins in the door here, but he's going to get a second try. About 12 seconds behind Cheese right now. Cheese is just going for a nice Shig cycle. Weegee could really easily get Zaya, but I think he'll just play it safe.
Yeah, we'll have to see
Weegee going for Zaya. Here we go. Roll out over the box. This is a really tried and well, it's a new strat, but people have really figured out how to make it work. Weegee does a very interesting camera setup with the martyr cam to give him a straight up angle on the notch. Oh, but getting amped there, that's gonna ruin his Zaya cycle. Gonna be settling for Shig like Cheese, and not gonna be able to make up the lead.
Yeah, but I mean, he'd definitely be a lot harder pressed for that Zaya after the amp if he hadn't gone for it he would have been harder pressed for that Shig after the amp if he hadn't been going for Zaya at the start. So I'd say overall kind of a zero-sum game for him, but Cheese pulling off just a real nice leisurely stroll through the dark world.
Yeah, getting the throw to Weegee is going to be a few seconds behind. Neither of them getting a dance, which should only save about half a second, if that, but it's a bit of RNG element. And she's going to wrap up a 2:49, so really respectable. You'd take that time in a PB attempt, even at a high level like Cheese, where nothing really went wrong for him. He just had to solve the dark world, and we're just going to grab a 302, 303, so not too bad.
Definitely nothing to sneeze at from either of these guys.
That's about as fast of a second try LBLJ is you could ask for almost.
Yeah, I mean, anyone but Weegee probably would have ended up with a post 310 Dark World after that first LBLJ fail, but his ability to recover so quickly, and I mean, the fact that he was going so quickly the first time around too, I think had a little bit to do with it, because he was able to fail it so quickly the first time. Didn't waste a bunch of time on an attempt that ended up eventually not succeeding. And Cheese with that very nice cannonless, going for the real nice, reliable stock folder setup.
Weegee going for his kind of signature fence clip that was originally used by Zaya, going for like his side flip outlist strats, but Weegee decided that he liked it better than what Cheese is going to do here with the fence clip, where you do a kick and double jump instead of actually going right into a double jump out of the clip. It's a bit interesting. I don't think it's faster, but it does kind of stop your jump from getting eaten by the steps. Weegee going for the ledge grab setup here. Same with Cheese, but he's gonna miss it! This is a shock. Now, Cheese also went for the ledge grab setup, but he was able to get cannonless pretty easily, and Weegee is gonna be eating a bit more time loss.
Yeah, definitely not a great start for Weegee coming out of this lobby. Hopefully he'll be able to make up a pretty considerable amount of time in the basement. About a start behind, she's going to be moving into Shifting Sand Land. Let's see what he's able to do with Pillarless and, of course, the other two stars in this area. Hopefully not going to have to go for either the backups at the beginning, but you never really know. Weegee on his second cannonless attempt, and he gets it this try, but at what cost, do you have to ask?
I think the overall cost is not too bad for Weegee. You know, he's obviously not going to be happy with it. We're going to have to see how Cheese handles Plus, though. And Cheese also goes for kind of like the not Tama, but still kind of fast method here, and it's a good big bomb.
Yeah, as he's talked about before, even though the Tama Plus does save a couple of seconds, in his opinion, it's not quite worth it because of the lower consistency he gets with it.
Yeah.
So he's just practiced the original Plus so much that the consistency and the speed at which he's able to execute it just works for him. And let's see how Weegee handles his. More than likely going to be going for the Tama. And failing to actually pick up the Bob-omb after the dive. Going to have to be grabbing one of the two backups. Meanwhile, she's getting bodied by the Fly Guy. This is not how you want to have that star go. Fortunately, he's able to get the Shining atop the pyramid, but man.
Yeah, both having to grab the same star here as a backup. I was actually about to say, like, Cheese has like an uncharacteristically high failure rate for Talons, where I don't think it's that hard of a star, but I think sometimes he gets Fly Guy trolled or like messes up the long jump. Second try is going to be good. Went way up the right side of the pillar, so no RNG to worry about. We just got his plus. So She's lost a good bit of time, but so did Weegee, so he's still got that 1-star lead.
Yeah, no real worries yet, but I'm really thinking the heat's no pun intended gonna turn up in Fire Sea.
Yeah.
Yes, I know they're entering Lethal Lava Land right now, but you know, honestly, Lethal Lava Land, aside from the triple jump wall kick and to an extent the elevator strat, really not too formidable of a stage in 16 star compared to the other things you have to deal with.
Yeah, and she's just got that out of the way.
Yeah, so he's pretty well got the rest of LLL in the bag as long as he can just execute as consistently as we've seen him do before. Of course, Big Bully can sometimes be a decent troll, and obviously Elevator Star, there are a few things that could go pretty significantly wrong. If I remember right, Cheese does go for the rollout ending to that Elevator Star, which can be really risky. If you roll out just a little bit too early, you end up just completely getting bodied, bonking by the platform that the star is actually on and just falling to your death. It's a pretty terrible way to end that star. And meanwhile, both these guys going for red coin and with that nice simultaneous coin or star grab, rather. Sort of sync, I guess. You know, Chad, if you really want to go and pull out those half sync emotes. I don't know if there's even a sync emote, but there really needs to be one.
I think we were thinking about like a kitchen sink kind of sync emote in the works, but we don't have the sub points for it, so we'd have to grab some more subs in the chat here. But you know, I'd be in favor of a sync emote. You know, people love to see it happen. You know, I think there should be a way to commemorate it.
Yeah, I definitely think you know, a kitchen sink would be probably one of the most widely used emotes on this channel if it appeared. Would have to kind of wonder what exact brand of kitchen sink, since apparently there's a big number of them. But you know, as long as it's a good commercial-sized kitchen sink that... Oh no, Weegee failing lava boost, able to barely stay alive, but man, that is not how you want to see that go down. And ultimately, lava boost not even really required for this category unless you were skipping another star somewhere else.
Yeah, luckily Weegee was able to take care of the elevator tour as a backup. You know, it gets really sketchy trying to get onto the elevator. It's actually kind of harder than it looks because when you spawn in the volcano, you just try to like do a jump kick and lava boost up there. Or lava burn. But it's actually a bit tricky if you're doing it from the reverse direction where you can't actually see it. So Weegee did it pretty well, and he's just wrapping up with Boyle the Big Bully.
And Cheese, very nice dive into that star for triple box jump. Just, Cheese is definitely feeling himself in this round one. That is for sure. A couple of little bobbles here and there, but overall, very, very well executed gameplay.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing any more surprises until Nip's clip, where you really get to see the 16 exclusive tricks come on out. But these last 2 stars in HMC are pretty free. We're just going to have to take care of this jump box, and we'll see how he does. That was pretty fast as well.
Let's see. Instant star grab, very nice. And Cheese with that emergency exit star.
So Weegee gonna go ahead and take care of Toad. If you know you don't run 16 star, you just have to get him before you get the 14th star. Because if you do that and use Toad for the 15th, Nips won't spawn. So people usually go get him as soon as he appears at 12, because you can't get him at 11 when you normally enter the stage. Now Weegee just got these last 2, which he's already done with. So I think she's actually extended his lead a little bit with that mistake in lava boost from Weegee, and a 10, what is that, like a 1030 HMC is really good actually. Like, she could probably PB with this.
Yeah, that's actually what chat's been saying, is that more than likely he's still on high 15 pace. So, and with she's not running 16 star super religiously, he could definitely get a PB out of this depending on first MIPS clip fail, gonna be relining up nice and quick on that second attempt. Let's see how his Fire Sea door goes, but assuming it goes well, he may still very well... Oh, very nice, like, instant clip. Wow.
That was a bit weird the way he set it up. Usually people will go in at more of an angle and kind of do the wall jump as Mips hits the ground. He's like jumped into the door and did kind of like the
Oh,
glitchy
Weegee
movement
trying to do the punch grab, but failing, and not even getting the given Mips grab, having to... Oh, wait, actually, no, that was on purpose. Doing
Yeah,
a side flip there, knowing that Mips was going to run back that way, just trying to save a little bit of that movement since you can't do any long jumps or dives while holding Mips, but going right through the door without Mips. But meanwhile, she's failing front sub, just eating a boatload of lag. Man, not what you want to see. And a second fail, not able to get
he's
onto
not
that
getting enough
straight
swim
area.
speed either. Now, Weegee's probably feeling really tilted right now, but little does he know that she's actually struggling so much with front sub that if he had just slowed down and got Mips clip the first time without trying to YOLO it, he would have saved a bunch of time in this section. But probably not anymore. He's probably not feeling too good on a PB now, but it could be possible.
Yeah, I would say that he'd probably lost between 10 and 15 seconds on that, so it kind of depends on his PB's level of gameplay throughout the late game, and of course, what's going to happen here. Very, very nice execution through those moving platforms. We've seen a few people take some pretty terrible deaths there. So just, I mean, you see the slide, and as close as it is to the edge of that rock, it still kind of surprises me that they go for that in runs.
Yeah, that was a beautiful fire sleeve from Cheese. Getting the pull glitch, getting the early sickle with a long jump wall kick, not even needing the triple jump, where if you're not really accustomed to fire no reds, that's kind of what you'll usually do. Long jump is if you're really confident in how fast you are. Weegee missing pull glitch though. I'm kind of surprised. It looked like a good setup, but actually bonking his head, and he's not going to be able to get the cycle he wanted. Maybe not even early cycle at this point. He's got to hurry up and hope that he can barely make it on the elevators. May have to wall kick ledge guy, but I think it's too low now. Yeah, it's he's have to wait for normal cycle.
Ouch.
Cheese is barely on PB potential.
It really depends on these BLJs, which Cheese not known for having the most consistent BLJs. Certainly not on the level of like Aki or Zaya or any of those just amazing 0 to 16 runners.
Josh Dowski is like clinical as well, although he's not been doing Mario in the last like 4 months or so.
Yeah, that was another one. I can't believe I forgot about him. Just surgical precision with his BLJs. And of course you see Cheese here. First attempt not getting hooked.
That's what we were talking about. Cheese not able to get his BLJ on the second try. Now Weegee's gonna be able to make his way up to the staircase. If Cheese can't get it together, he might be losing it mentally. Does he even believe that he's got what it takes? Yes, he does. Fourth try BLJ is gonna take kind of a while, you know. Weegee, you know, very used to these BLJs and probably can save some time here if Cheese stumbles a bit more. This is definitely possible for Weegee now. Cheese on the endless staircase BLJ. At this point, he's kind of pressing A to wait till it catches, and Cheese getting a couple snags, but nothing to stick. And he's have to reset it. This is really bad for Cheese now. PB's definitely dead, but Weegee is coming on his tail.
You're getting real close to him. Let's see how this 50-star door goes.
Oh
And
my god!
Wow!
He's only one. Cheese not able to get up either. Weegee is tied. Cheese finally able to get in the sky, but it's like maybe not even a 10-second lead.
Yeah, this is definitely frightening for Cheese.
And Weegee's up there.
Wow, fast BLJs from Weegee. The one in the endless staircase, not the quickest in the world, but a second try basically. Not exactly sure how to word that, but basically the second attempt that he had to get that BLJ on the 50-star, just immediate catch.
I think Weegee just made man mode too. Cheese falling down, jump walking. Weegee is now in the lead. This is what I was talking about. There's no way you can count a race over in 16 star. There's too much in the end game. Weegee messing up, moving right side. Cheese coming up to his jump walking too. They're pretty much in sync. Moving right side. Weegee falls down for moving left, and Cheese is taking a spill as well. Weegee had 4 health. Luckily, Cheese did not take fall damage. Otherwise, he'd probably be sweating pretty hard right now. But Weegee is not able to get this movement together. What is Cheese gonna do? Can he finally get up to sky or like to the pipe?
You're finally able to get that moving right side. Weegee pretty much just falling behind because of where he fell after that bonk, and Cheese now having trouble with the upper pinwheels. Goomba in a decent position, gonna be able to make his way up to the pipe now.
This is ridiculous. Not even a throw apart still, despite all the things that happened in Bits itself.
Yeah, this is going to be a very stressful throw session.
Yeah, Cheese known for sometimes missing back throws, barely getting that one.
Yeah, that
counting
was
his lucky stars.
That was definitely very, very sus. And Weegee getting his first throw. Let's see, Cheese able to knock it out of the park. 3 just super quick throws. PB unfortunately died, but I mean, certainly not forgotten. And this round 1 is going to CLG's Cheese. So GG's, and they will be going back into it pretty soon after they get situated and reset and such. Cheese with that 1703, Weegee with a 1709, 6 seconds apart in this round 1. So, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking that it's really going to be hard to predict how these next 2 rounds are going to go. In a way, I almost feel like this has been a bit of a warm-up for Weegee. You know, having such bad luck with Bits, you know, I definitely feel like his with this interim period between this and the next game, I certainly think that Weegee's going to have a chance to kind of mentally recenter after those Bits mistakes. And I mean, looking at his level of gameplay leading up to that, he's certainly still a contender to win out this, to go ahead and come out of this 2-1. So definitely excited to see this round 2, to see how this shakes out. And I mean, Cheese, meanwhile, he's got to be feeling decent of having maintained PB pace for so long, especially given just before this, he just finished a 120 star run. He wasn't practicing 16 star just before this. So, you know, kind of interesting to see how a category not being 100% fresh on his mind, he's still able to maintain that insane pace for so long.
Yeah. The runners in chat kind of laughing about how the end of that race went. It's kind of crazy how they both had so many chances to win. At least in Sky, they both fell like twice, but Cheese was able to get it done in the end. And you can't say he didn't deserve it. You know, he played really well for the first half, whereas Weegee kind of just wrecked him on the BLJ segment, and that's the only reason why he was so close. But in the second race, it's a whole nother story, and I don't think you can down him for a second. I think he might be warmed up now. Or at least I'd hope so.
Yeah, certainly. Only this next race will really be able to tell. Both their guys now going ahead and getting their files set up and getting ready for that round 2.
And we got the countdown, and we're going to start off with the second race of the night. And if Cheese wins, he will get... Well, she's saying he messed up the timer. Might have to do a restart. He didn't actually reset his 1703 or whatever he had.
Yeah, more than likely we're just going to take care of this with some sync in... Oh, well, it looks like we're just going to be doing a restart of this race. Would have figured that we would have just redid the sync in the booth, but going to be taking it a little bit more, I don't know, slightly more sportsmanlike, I guess. Not really sure how that would be considered.
Yeah. Alright, Weegee and Cheese gonna be restarting their console for the second time. Probably gonna be doing it in pretty good sync here. So here we have it. Weegee has 2 games to win if he wants to take the series. You know, one of the highest ranked contenders in the 16-star league. But at the same time, he hasn't looked like it too much. You know, people like Cheese are very good at the category, even if they don't run it as their main category. And the way he's made these mistakes, I have a good bit of hope that he'll be able to fix them, because he showed like pretty good mechanical gameplay in a lot of sections, but you never know like what new mistakes will happen.
Exactly right there. And I mean, with Cheese, you know, most of 16 star shares at least IL strats with other categories. So even though he doesn't run the category itself, very, very commonly. He is still running those various stars, like pillarless, for instance. No matter what category you're running, you're still having to do pillarless in some form. So he's still getting that practice there. But now we start this next race. Weegee with that quicker door touch looks like just going for a slightly more optimized MIPS grab strat. Or, sorry, Lakitu skip strat. No MIPS to be found in the outside in the very obviously superior version of this game.
Weegee getting a high 119 bits, Dark World entry. Neither commentator able to say what they mean on their mind, but Weegee with the fire LBLJ. She didn't even make any mistakes, he just did it. Actually, I think he failed his long jump in the pillar. Weegee failing his ice cycle and he's dead. I can't even believe it right now. Not getting off to a good start for the second time in a row. And he's probably kicking himself. Cheese really consistent with Shig. He'll probably be able to get it no problem. Weegee will probably try Zaya again, but he got burned, so probably dead.
Yeah, just a really rough start from Weegee. Able to get the LBLJ instantly this time, but to what avail? I mean, it's Weegee just not having the best luck in either of these races so far. And I mean, you really have to wonder if it has partially to do with all that time spent with Sunshine, or if it's just not really his day. Either way.
Yeah, it might be a bit conflicting to have two very similar games, like fighting for your brain attention. That's not even a real phrase, but I think you know what I mean. Like for the just kind of the focus on one specific game to play it at a really high level versus having another game with very similar mechanics, but also very different in the way you have to actually apply them. So
right, and it can be difficult to switch between Mario games. Like for instance, when I just go between Odyssey and SM64, I keep trying to dive in SM64 with the Z button, and I have to keep reminding myself, wait a minute, that's not how this works in this game. And it just, even though those things get ironed out very quickly, it's those very little things, the little subtleties of how Mario moves that your brain just has a little bit of trouble totally switching between until you've played the games for a pretty considerable amount of time in one sitting. So Cheese moving into Womps. Weegee going to be pretty well right behind him, but again, with that early Dark World death, you know, he is starting yet again at a deficit, which is not what we wanted to see this race.
Yeah, Cheese is just, you know, he calls Aki a robot, and you know, Aki did kind of smack Cheese in the 16-star race where they had to face each other, but Cheese can be pretty robotic at times, and you know, Weegee not really sure when he's gonna get his opening. One will come, I'm sure. You know, Cheese not likely to drop a world record run in 16-star, but at the same time, Weegee missing Alice though. This is kind of a repeat of last race where he's missed a key trick, which will cost him about 8 seconds, and a second miss. I don't know how he missed it that time. I thought it looked good, but the third try, it's not really going to be good enough at a high level. You know, Cheese is going to have to let him back in the game. You know, the first half of his first race was phenomenal. One of the best he could hope for. So we'll see if Cheese can reign with that momentum.
Yeah, only time will tell, but certainly looking like, I mean, based on how he played the last round and how he's playing this round so far, it looks like he's on that consistency train for the time being.
Bonk was the only mistake he's made so far, losing about a second and a half. But if he got like a 435 Womps exit, which is like, for a 16 runner with like a high 15, that's pretty good. He'll take those anytime. So
and especially in a race situation, I mean, you're really just praying for no major mistakes, especially in 16-star, which is just such a trick-heavy category.
It is very much opposite of like 70 and 120, which are all about just movement mechanics. There are quite a few. You do use most of the glitches in the game. Cheese here grabbing his big bomb again, so really good consistency in that respect. And able to get, oh, that's gonna knock him out of the pyramid, and he's gonna have to do something about this. Can he escape the sand? Oh my god, he actually did. I can't believe he's actually gonna be able to get talons. You know, probably more than he could have hoped for with that mistake. But you saw how, oh, the bird smacking him with the talon. She's not really sure how to handle the avian creature here that realized this, and he almost died.
This is very much not a... What a
Weegee,
backup.
same mistake.
Oh,
and I think he's gonna be dead too. Wow.
Yep. Not able to make that second jump to actually get onto the Toxbox trail. Wow. What a scuffed mistake from both of these guys, and especially from Cheese. Just what a backup. That was just absurd. I'm shocked that any of that worked.
Yeah, Weegee was trying to go for it, but he just didn't have enough speed. And Weegee, the second try looks good, but you know, when they're up on the pyramid, you can just kind of look at Mario's angle and just project that backwards. Cheese was really close to the top of the pyramid star, so to compensate, he made his angle more straight back rather than diagonal, because he would have just grabbed it. He would have grabbed the shiny top of the pyramid star, but as a result, he missed the loading zone. So, tough luck, but that's what happens. Trying to be fast.
That is how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately.
At least it went a little bit better than, what was it, Aki versus...
Yup. Let's see, Aki why Aki versus Benny? I was gonna say, why am I blanking on it? That was a match. That was such a match. Cheese with the already burn and only has one more chance left on this triple jump dive. You can see the kind of rage cam tilts. Able to get it that try. That was so sus. Looked very, very close. So Weegee 1 star behind. I'm going to be making his way into the grinning fireball now.
Yeah, I'd expect Weegee to make up some time here. Starting off with reds is something he actually messed up a little bit last race. He missed like one of the red coins, like the 5th or 6th one. I forget which one. But grabbing the star, you know, it's pretty easy. Cheese almost falling in the lava again. Not getting enough distance on the rollout to touch the star.
Yeah, even though a lot of the stars in Lethal Lava Land are pretty straightforward, there are a lot of little things that can go wrong that can really eat up a bunch of time.
Weegee getting that side hop first try, and he's going to save a substantial amount of time here. Cheese knocking that big bully out, which will be pretty clean, but you could save some time if you did the ground pound strat, which I think Weegee did last race, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to see. He's going to the volcano right now. Oh, a burn here. This is really bad. He can't go for lava boost, and actually no, he can. He got a coin, so he can still do it. He'll just have 1 HP left over, and he gets it. So, you know, fair play to Weegee, getting it done.
Yeah, very risky, very Monka moment, but ultimately Weegee making it work, showing us why he is so proficient at 16 star. You know, it's these little glimpses of glory that really make you just kind of wonder what's going through Weegee's head, why he's playing so inconsistently, why he's doing some, like, for instance, the no pull movement at the end of that lava boost, and then suddenly just, you know, making a bundle of mistakes in Dark World and then bits and just, I mean, all over the place. There's been a lot of weird time loss and a lot of just really proficient time gain. So, you know, Weegee kind of all over the place with his gameplay right now.
Yeah, totally agree. It's hard to tell where he'll be from one star to the next. You know, is he looking up at a Lethal Lava Lane, or is it just like he's overdue for another mistake? You know, who can really say it at this point? Cheese 1 star in the lead, gonna take care of Toad. And Weegee has to get this triple box jump, which she's nailed. Weegee getting a ledge grab. It's going to lose him a little bit of time, but he can at least set up the trick well. And then that star.
You know, nice start grab from both of these guys. Like you said, Weegee losing a little bit of time on his triple box jump, but nothing that he can't potentially make up in Fire Sea. Cheese definitely not giving him a lot of room to work with. 1 more star, and then he's going to be chasing that rabbit himself.
Yeah, Cheese is flying through the rest of this HMC. You know, pulling off some fancy gymnastics, lead up to amazing emergency exit. And Weegee gonna go for Rolling Rocks, so we're gonna see Star sync up, but game telling him that was not the right choice. Bad RNG, but able to avoid the boulder better than Cheese. So slightly faster from Weegee. However, he still does need the one more the one other star. You see Cheese getting an HMC exit that's over 30 seconds behind what he had in the first race. You know, a lot of it can be attributed to the mishaps on Talons, but this just shows how good his first race beginning was. He has a good chance here to have a better DDD segment, a good nip scrap. You know, Cheese is like, he's taken notes on how to do this. He's not rushing it. You know, some 16-star runners at a high level just jam it into the door and then hope it works. Weegee missing a punch grab again. I think it's kind of relying on muscle memory that hasn't been very active in recent months.
Exactly, so, like, right, and the punch grab doesn't save enough time to really justify going for it. So I'm confused as to why he just is so insistent on it. She's going for front sub again. Kind of an interesting decision considering how it went last time, but I guess we'll just have to see what he can make of it this time around. Ooh,
barely getting up there, but he got it. So
and really
still ahead by Weegee.
And the camera angle he used actually seemed to kind of reduce the lag at least a little bit.
You know, in his first race, Cheese also had a fantastic tire seek. Can he get pole glitch again? You know, something that's only in 16-star. And
ooh,
not a good jump. I think it was bad positioning on the second jump dive. I think he was a bit too high up, right? Because pole glitch, you have to like just barely touch your head to the top of the surface. So Cheese not gonna be able to make early cycle. That's why he's not like, oh, Cheese trying to style a little bit, but might be a bad idea. He doesn't want to waste too much time. He's got to get up here now. The elevators are rising. He's actually missed the initial normal cycle movement, I guess, by just trying to flex and go get a red coin.
Kind of a interesting flex decision there.
That was so nerve-wracking from Cheese. Barely not falling off of the stage.
Hoo-wee, yeah.
The hitboxes on those railings are like, they're more, so there's like a flat part, like horizontal, and there's the part that dips into the lava. Like the flat part has hardly any hitbox on it at all. You pretty much want to be on the corner of that and the slope, so Cheese was actually cutting it way more close than the texture made it seem. But Weegee having a really good fire C right now.
And interesting to me that Cheese was, but spoken a little bit too soon. Weegee now having to wait for the normal cycle after failing that wall kick. And meanwhile, Cheese, you know, it's interesting to see him going for the diving movement down the railings rather than the long jump movement that we see a lot of people do just for the safety, like what Weegee's doing right here.
Yeah. It was because he messed up his initial, like, long jump, I think. So he had to just make do.
Well, I thought the diving movement was faster and less consistent though, so kind of interesting that was the quote unquote.
Oh yeah, like he tried to do a long jump, he just messed it up. So he's like, all right, I can't really like start a long jump now. I just have to like do whatever.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying now. Okay, a little bit of a catch there. Not quite though.
Yeah, you know, these BLJs giving Cheese just a glimmer of hope before smashing it to pieces, you know, giving him just the hint that he's on the right track, but not actually getting him what he's looking for with the clip through the door.
You know, I wonder how much it would help to have a metronome going during this trick, because I've seen Linkus use metronomes a lot for tricks in Wind Waker HD, so could be something that would help specifically with the mashing for BLJs. Who knows?
Yeah, I know people like Kevin Crunch actually do like a rhythm kind of internal timing for the mashing. So Cheese is a little bit more ahead of Weegee, getting that second BLJ a little bit better, but also Weegee hot on his trail. Hey, Cheese dead! Cheese is dead. That's not a complete sentence.
Oh my god.
Cheese dead is kind of like, I don't know if you were a caveman, but Weegee's actually taking the lead for the second race in a row, they're tied in bits pretty much. And can they do better than last time? Weegee making Manimo again, saving a good 2 seconds over Cheese. Look at how much it means to him at this point. His movement is so good. And here he is moving left side, not going for right side like Cheese is. And both of them getting it. Cheese actually taking the lead again. Would you believe your eyes right now? It is so close. These tiny tricks are actually flipping the lead between the two. Weegee barely missing that Goomba, and they're both going to head into the pipe. I have no idea what's going to happen. Electric, what are we going to do?
It's really down to throws at this point. Oh, man. Just really, I'd really just have to say you focus on Weegee, I'll focus on Cheese, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
So let's see. Cheese winding up. Throw one is good.
Same for Weegee here.
And winding up yet again.
You know, Weegee actually not getting a good regrab. That's going to give Cheese an opportunity here. He can take his time on this spin.
And Cheese with that beautiful second and third throw. Cheese clutches round 2. Very nice low 17 from him.
3 for 3 from Cheese, and Weegee gonna miss that final throw and kind of just resigns himself to his fate. Doesn't really care to finish the fight. I would probably just finish it, but we still have one more race to go. Can still get a point. Maybe Cheese is actually not in the best form in the late game, rather. Like, just the BLJs have been really difficult. So, like, Weegee's had much better BLJs, and he's also been getting pretty bad times relative to his skill level. Like, Cheese has not gone any 16. They've both been 17s. Weegee very capable of getting a 15 in a race, so
we'll see if he's somehow managed to pull that out the third race around. But, Weegee also could definitely clutch at least a point out of this last round. Really just has to be seen what he ends up being able to do.
I have to say, Weegee, it's kind of getting clapped in this league, I thought he would be just cleaning up some of the lower tier runners. I mean, not that he's lower tier, but I think he's very capable of beating people like Cheese and Vinny, but he hasn't really looked in the best shape to do so.
Right. I mean, he just hasn't been pulling it off for whatever reason. Just hasn't been able to execute at the skill level that he knows that he should be able to. And a little bit of a delay. Seems that Weegee got slightly confused and did not realize that it was not a best of 3, but a actual 3-race league match. So gonna have to take a sec to get his stream back set up, but shouldn't take too long. But I mean, yeah, granted, Weegee has been put against some pretty significant competition. Paracutia is no one to be reckoned with. Or Commentator just mixing up his idioms. Paracutia is absolutely a force to be reckoned with. But I still definitely did not expect that matchup to go the way that it did. Not even including the forfeit, but just with the 2-0 and then the terrible start to the third race that probably would have given it to Para as well. And then, of course, Cheese facing Weegee. You really can't blame Weegee for not being able to pull off a win, even if he were in the best of his form, because Cheese is just such a powerful runner of this game. So, yeah, the points may look stacked against Weegee at the moment, but I really think that's a little bit more so a result of who he's had to face in this league rather than his actual skill and performance. But it is certainly worth noting that his consistency definitely seems to have taken a hit from just him not playing the game as religiously as he has in the past.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It is a kind of unfortunate circumstance that, he's in full sunshine mode the second human to get a 114 in the game and almost a world record. So obviously you'd have your sights set on that, but at the same time you have to play Cheese, Benny, and Para, and all of them are just veteran runners who really know what they're doing. They're not gonna throw away runs to a bunch of stupid stuff.
Exactly.
Whereas
they will not give you a W at all.
Yeah. Like,
what were you gonna say if you look at who?
Like if you look at the split, you have like Aki, Weegee, Benny, Cheese, D, Paracusia, and then the second half you have people who like either like aren't 16-star specialists or like are just kind of like newer runners. You know, people like Rock Chalk and Benji are pretty good. Like actually Anti's really good. You know, like you don't get any free matches, but like, you know, Weegee should have matches where his opponent like wouldn't be expected to get like a 15 or even like a low 16, you know, where he can hopefully sweep. But the form he's in, like all these runners in the league are capable of getting consistent 17s, and if Weegee's not up to scratch, then we actually might see him fall pretty low in the standings. So we'll see if he can kind of turn it around. It is a pretty long season, so I'm thinking like as the matches progress, you can kind of see things change, where he'll only have to whatever, dude. They're in Dark World.
Well, I was gonna say though, Cheese having a good amount of trouble with the LBLJs. Weegee with just one fail, but Cheese having to go in multiple times for his. Weegee missing that red coin at the end of the cycle, though, going to be losing a few seconds to that. But, you know, Cheese definitely has his work cut out for him to start this race. This is the first one I think that, especially going out of Dark World, Weegee will be in the lead.
Yeah, but we just consist on double firsties at least, so he's 3 for 3. But actually, oh, Cheese almost falling off of the Cheese block. It would have been fitting, but also pretty tragic. I'm really sorry for rambling like that. I was watching the Twitch stream and not the Discord, so I thought we were still in the intro. I'm like, alright, I just gotta like fill like 20 more seconds. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No worries.
So,
no worries.
Yeah,
I mean,
apologies.
hey, Chad is also quoting me saying that Para is not a force to be messed with. So I think both of us have made a couple of mistakes so far. It's no big deal at all.
So Weegee is actually in the lead. You know, this has been kind of a new position for him. It's usually been like, well, I mean, he had a failed LBLJ, a death in Dark World. He can actually try to be leading the race here and see how those shoes fit him for a change.
Yep, let's see how Womps decides to treat him, and of course the basement could certainly end up being able to pull a strong lead through Fire Sea if he's able to maintain a high level of gameplay. This could be kind of the turnaround race for Weegee. This could be where he really starts to reclaim some of that lost muscle memory and really starts to show off the gameplay that we know he's capable of. But Commentator may be speaking a little bit too soon with that first Owlus fail, of course, kind of just repeating his prior mistakes, getting I think that was a firstie there that caused that one to fail, just going super far away from the cage.
Oh, this is really bad for Weegee. Hey, it's just a really smart ground pound to not fall onto the slope there. So it was actually intentional from him, but like, Owlus is something that it should be a given for a player as good as he is. I don't know what's off with his like internal timing, but he's just kind of not getting the right frame wall kick in some senses, and he's also just not getting the right positioning. It's just kind of weird.
Well, let's see if he's at least able to make better with Cannonless, going for the full sock folder setup, of course. Not going to be trying to do any time-saving shenanigans with that, at least, I'm sure.
Yeah, still in the lead, but hardly at all. He's just only about a second behind.
Yep. I mean, it's... You know, I'm honestly a little bit afraid to say anything about Weegee at this point, because it seems that saying anything good about him gives him a bit of a curse.
Yeah, he actually did get a good wild blue going for the single jump strat. Hardly saves anything at all, but it's just really weird to watch because of how like large the wall kick has to be.
So both of them now heading down to the basement. Let's see how their pluses go. If Weegee gets a first try Tama plus, he could definitely save a good amount of time over Cheese, especially if Cheese has some trouble clipping into the pyramid. But likewise, if Tama goes wrong, there's a lot else at stake as well. Let's see also how... Oh, sorry. I was about to say, let's see how their MIPS grabs go. Commentator having a little bit of a brain... Not even a brain fart, just a total rewiring of the head. I don't even know how to describe what mistake that was.
Oh no!
I haven't seen that one before. Weegee nearly getting a perfect Tama plus and then accidentally grabbing Shining atop the pyramid. He has got to be tilted at that.
Yeah, I think Weegee kind of not sure what his place in the universe is after that one. That was really fast on the second try, but like, you know, it's not that he can't do it. He just has the Cheese messing up on talents again. I'm telling you, something about this star like confuzzles Cheese like nothing else.
Yeah, I think part of it is just I think he may be overthinking the Shy Guy positioning, because if you remember last time he failed it by hitting the Shy Guy right in the face, and this time around he went over the Shy Guy's head, so yeah, maybe a bit of overcompensating for it. Who knows?
Yeah, I am very confused. Weegee is actually in the lead still, if you can believe that. The pyramid star grab wasn't too bad, it's just that he had to get Tama plus the first try because he used the backup. So he's actually saved time with Cheese in that segment. Alright, so hopefully LOL will go pretty well like it did last race. You know, none of them had... Actually, Cheese almost died to side hop, but Weegee had a really good lethal lava land. Nice wall kick from Cheese.
You're making some pretty quick work of Triple L.
Yeah, this is kind of the stage where it's mostly just stuff that you would do in other categories. Like the 3 basement stages are pretty similar to what you do in 70.
Yeah, and especially Lethal Lava Land. I mean, really the only exception is that you're not going for triple bullies or, in most cases, one of the 2 volcano stars.
Yeah. You're gonna head into the volcano now. We're actually seeing a lot of runners just do the elevator tour instead, but Weegee confident in the time save that he can get from Lava Boost. Let's see if he can get this. And nope! Barely surviving as well. We're gonna have to do the backup here. You know, Cheese gonna be able to save some time over that one. We just have to be very careful about the fire. So Weegee barely in the lead now. Still needs to boil the big bully. Cheese needs the elevator tour. They're both pretty similar in length. About 19 seconds, 18 if you have a good bully. Alright, good ledge grab skip from Weegee. And a nice angled side flip as well, killing the bully but giving him a quick turnaround. Did Cheese take a burn heading into the volcano?
I think he did. Collecting a coin to go ahead and undo that, but yeah, I think he did actually take a tiny burn, but nonetheless, both of them moving into HMC now. Let's see how they end up faring here. Weegee in a nice little lead, but Cheese could easily make it up in a number of little situations. Weegee failing to get that triple jump. Game can certainly be fickle with actually giving you that third jump sometimes.
Yeah, not having enough speed, and now he had to spend quite a bit of extra time getting those boulders. I think Cheese is just taking the lead.
Almost certainly, because I think the triple jump box star actually takes a little bit longer than boulders.
They're really close. If you have a good box jump, it can be a bit faster, but not much different.
Let's see how Cheese ends up tackling the rest of this course. But I mean, after getting triple box jump, there's certainly not a whole lot left that can go super raw.
Yeah, but Weegee still needs it. All eyes on him right now. Oh, going for emergency exit. Hopefully he's not forgetting about the box jump. You know, like if you failed it once, like I don't know why you'd save it for last, but it could be just he wants to get a star cleanly.
Could definitely be just kind of wants to mentally reset himself a little bit, and probably the easiest way of doing that is to collect a pretty easy star.
Alright, Weegee hitting up for the box jump. Also doing this in Lakitu Cam. Usually people do it in the Mario Cam, see down. But it seems like it worked out for Weegee.
Yeah, it must just be practiced at that specific cam for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Weegee seems to have a pretty interesting set of cameras for a number of different tricks. That
you can get this punch grab.
Other people.
There he goes. That punch grab is going to help him out right here. Bridging the gap between Cheese and himself. Now, how's the clip going? Cheese pretty fast on his. Weegee very fast as well. This is what we like to see. Two runners going at it with high quality gameplay. And Weegee with a fast jump into the 30-star door.
Just barely ahead now. Wow. We've really got ourselves a race. It's definitely going to be a close one as long as these guys can maintain this level of play. Definitely looking to see what happens in Fire Sea. If they manage to stay together during Fire Sea, Weegee could very well clinch this one, mainly from the BLJs.
You know, pretty even here in the swimming part. Well, Weegee's like 1 second ahead of Cheese, so just like one swim apart pretty much. So front sub. Well, they both get it. Turning in sync. Cheese saving a little bit of lag over Weegee. And that was a really good MIPS and DDD segment from both of them.
You know, let's see what they end up doing with Fire Sea, because as we've seen before, this one can be really variable between these two guys. And looks like
one pull glitch and two. Here we go.
Let's see how... Oh, Cheese with the ledge grab there. Going to be a bit more difficult for him to end up making the early cycle. But Weegee just
can still do it.
Getting it nice and clean. But still very, very close. Cheese also with the early cycle. Both of them now with long jumps.
Weegee going for the one burn again. He's actually been good at the one burn, so not too surprised. But you can easily die.
Let's see how these Bowser throws end up going.
And this is really good, you know, Weegee, you know, aside from the sloppy beginning from both of them, after SSL, you know, they've both been playing pretty well. The lead has kind of been shifting by a few seconds either way, but it's just because of good gameplay, not from someone making massive mistakes for the most part.
Yeah, that's what you always love to see. You don't really like seeing races where they're close together or someone has a lead just because of huge mistakes. You like seeing stuff like this, where the biggest thing is really just them being at about the same level of consistency and really showing off how good that they really are at this game. Really, I think the biggest mistake for Weegee, for instance, has been that that accidental grab of the pyramid star, and then for Cheese, of course, those LBLJs.
Well, Weegee missed Alice a bunch, so...
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's also true.
Now, BLJs, though, this has been a huge one-sided battle, but Cheese actually getting his first try, and Weegee, this is crazy, folks. If Cheese picked one race where he needed to pull out the BLJ first try, this was it. And they're both synced here on the endless staircase.
Yeah, and Cheese actually getting... Cheese only synced because of that, that higher stair get, and man, going into bits nearly synchronized. Let's see what cycles they go for.
Yeah, Weegee's going for Manimo again. Can he get it? I don't know if he'll be able to get it now. He had to kind of weave his way around the amp. Yep, taking it safe. And they're so close right now. I can't believe how exactly the same their BLJ segments were either.
Yeah, that was just wild. And
Cheese just a little bit slower throughout all these strats on bits. Very nice moving right side from Weegee. Cheese with a fail, having to do the stationary left side. Ooh, and taking a all there. Let's see. Goomba treating Weegee well. Weegee could very well have this one under his belt. It's going to come down to his Bowser throws. And Cheese needs to get up into that Bowser fight as quickly as possible if he wants to put any sort of pressure on Weegee.
Weegee almost died right after getting moving right side triple jump wall kick. After you get the wall kick, you want to like turn and long jump, but Weegee kind of long jumped straight ahead and almost went right off the edge, but he was able to slow down and stop like on the little ledge, you know, almost as if like it just, oh no, Cheese with another fall here, and Weegee with beautiful throws gonna take a dub for himself. And that's a much better race time than either of them have gotten so far. So, kind of an outlier actually. But shows he still got it. Hello,
And-
Cheese.
What's up?
How are you feeling right now? Really, really beautiful BLJs on that last segment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, bits. Bowser the Sky without reds it's kind of a joke, honestly. It's a big fat joke. This is pretty much the reason why I don't do 16 star. I don't like it because, well, BLJs are one thing, and I don't like Bowser in the Sky with no reds. I think it's like the hardest thing in the entire game. One of the hardest things in the entire game, and like, it's very, 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 very easy to like fall down 5,000 times, and I think it's like the race decider basically. BLJs and Bowser in the Sky no reds for at least the 16 star runs races are the decider. Like someone could be 5 minutes behind going into BLJs and still win easily for 16 star because of how hard it is. But it was cool though. Like I knew Weegee and I were really close going up to BLJs in the last race, so I was like, and then after I got really good BLJs, I was like, damn, okay, well, if he got really good BLJs, then we're probably like tied. So like, but of course, Bowser in the Sky happened. So, but no big deal.
So we've got Weegee in the call as well. You know, you're able to take 1 point off, and that 16-19 was maybe not the best time you've ever gotten, but definitely better than your other two, and pretty far ahead of what she was able to do. So how do you think that one went?
I heard nothing that. Wait, what just happened?
I was saying. Oh, I was just saying that you know, that one win you got, it was actually it was the best time out of the whole set. So it might not be your best time, but how do you think it went?
Well, I lost like all my time like the beginning of the race. I was still carrying the salt from the past two, but I decided to open the stream that time to just watch and just relax, and I made it a little bit more relaxing. But yeah, GG's. I'm happy I at least got a 16. That's cool.
Yeah, and a point and a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, GG's. It was good.
Well, GG's to both of y'all. Now, one quick question. Weegee, what was going through your head with that shining atop the pyramid star grab in this third race?
I pretty much just immediately face palmed, and I felt pretty dumb, but could have been worse. That's not too bad.
Yeah, at least it was still a collectible star instead of the blue star. That would have been really rough.
Good.
Well, thanks, boys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great race from both of y'all. GG's. And I mean, yeah. And to all the viewers out there, thank you so much for watching. Padronas, it's been a pleasure, as always.
Thank
Same
you.
Here. Love y'all.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.